Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, friends. What you're hearing is the music of my garden here in New Zealand. We meet in our etheric garden for these gatherings at the full moon, and not at the coast today to share the music of the birds. So welcome. We might just take a moment to still down and enter this sacred space together. We'll just quiet our minds and settle our bodies. I am that, and that am I. Leo, the sign of the heart. I wanted to share also just this very short poem by Mary Oliver called Praying. And she writes, "It doesn't have to be the blue iris. It could be weeds in a vacant lot, or a few small stones. Just pay attention. Then patch a few words together. Don't try to make them elaborate. This isn't a contest, but a doorway into thanks, and a silence into which another voice can speak." So blessings on our work together today. Alexander, will you continue?
Thank you, Claire, for welcoming and inviting us into our garden. We meet in this group space, this etheric group space, every month at the time of full moon to listen together to the sound of presence. And then to share, bringing recognition of each of us into the group Chalice, continuing listening the presence and recognizing presence and sharing of each of us. We all know that this is an important year, the year of the Centennial Conclave, when the hierarchy meditates on the purpose and the unfolding plan. And so we, as all members of the World Servers Group, we stand in receptive poise, taking our stand on the periphery of the great ashram, aligning with the hierarchical meditation. Every month when we in this space together, we use the meditation that was developed by Steve Nation and Barbara Valacour based on the section on the technique of presence in the book of Glamour, World Problem. And this meditation been used by many years in the Circle of Life Bridge group. And this year, we use this outline to align with the presence. And every month, we also aligning with astrological qualities of a sign through which sun is traveling. And sign opposite, because we know opposites, zodiacal energies in essence are one. So we learn to recognize those qualities in presence and seek to express those qualities through our service. And so, as always, we start with a short astrological updates with the notes that Katya will share with us. Over to you, Katya. Please unmute yourself, Kat.
Yes. Hello, everyone. So we are traveling through the energies of Leo of 2025. The moment that is here and now.
I think there's a problem with the connection. We cannot hear you, Katya. Please try to unmute yourself again.
Oh, okay. So let me rephrase. So we are living with the energy of Leo that will extend for 100 years, and for a lot of humanity, it's going to be their lifetime. And many of those who are out of incarnation are going to step into this 100-year period. So let us visualize this energy and its extension for the next 100 years. The energy of life, of livingness, the energy of the sun that comes to humanity through the sun itself. When we're talking about physical form, and it supports the centers below diaphragm. And then through the fixed cross, the action of the heart of the sun comes in and brings the energies through Neptune. Those energies supports heart, throat, and erogenous centers. And in cardinal cross comes the activity of the central spiritual sun. And distributor of that energy is Uranus. And then it supports and activates the head center. So let us hold this energy for the new group and for humanity. To all those involved, it will come according to their goals, with one important point. With one important point for humanity. The aspect of the life, livingness itself, that we carry from Cancer into Leo. Not backward to Gemini into duality, but through manifestation, incarnation in Cancer, to developing that life in Leo. So the individual consciousness will be born. And then the group consciousness in Aquarius would be born. So universal consciousness can be reached. We're standing now in this fiery time. The energy of fire in Aries is activated by Saturn and Neptune being there, holding that. The Sun and Leo. And let us keep in mind the third point of Sagittarius and see how this fiery energy is being held now for us to cleanse, for us to reveal this loving heart that allows all the events. Let us anchor this energy to support humanity for the next 100 years. On the path of initiation. In our individual lives and in the lives of our groups, let us hold in the light of Leo this question. Is what we do supports the life? And if it isn't, let us focus on that, what is. Over to you, Sasha.
Thank you, Katya. Daniela, please tell us about the ritual that will open our meditation today.
Hello, dear friends. So, as always, we are starting with a candle lighting, which is actually a first part of our meditation that will be happening just after. We are, as we light our candles, state our, or rather describe our thoughts these days. We enter, and not only enter, we create the sacred space, the chalice that our group will be during the meditation, ready to receive the impressions. So as we light our candles, let's see ourselves irradiated by this central light that is our group's heart, our group's soul even maybe. And as we step in, we enhance and uplift the irradiation. And remember the birds that we heard at the beginning as we enter our sacred space. So I'm lighting this candle for the coming of the greater light into this world. And my thoughts about Leo Aquarius line of energies these days is I'm realizing how difficult it is to shift from leader, follower, organization of our human activities into something that could be called maybe collective intelligence. And as difficult as it sounds, it's also, I kind of feel in there a nice puzzle, a nice task to be accomplished. When we find the solution to this, we are in Aquarian age. So welcome everybody. And I will be calling in Kiki. Please step in.
One thing you didn't mention, Daniela, where you connecting from?
Oh, well, Brussels, as you know. Yes, thank you.
Hi, I'm Kiki. I'm connecting from Washington, D.C. today. And got the candle. And all I can think of when I see Daniela constantly is bubbles and happiness. And I mean, it's like champagne of the spirit or something. The bubbles are popping up. I just feel I want to dance around the room in joy and happiness. I'm really happy to be with you all again. And here's to Leo. And I pass to Claire.
Hi, everyone. That's such a beautiful image of effervescence and life and joy. Thanks, Kiki. So I'm Claire, and I'm on the Otago Peninsula on the South Island of New Zealand, and will add my light to yours and to the greater light. And the qualities of Leo that I'm with at the moment are around the ideas of contraction and expansion, the heart's contraction and the heart's expansion, and just trying to be attentive to those places and situations and ideas, paradigms, where I might feel some resistance or some contracting going on, and just to sit, pay attention, and expand the heart, constantly be aware of trying to expand the heart in a way that's hospitable and loving and patient, accommodating. So yeah, those are some of the things I'm with. And I will pass the light on to Maria Cristina in Tucson.
Yes, the Tucson desert. Leo, fire, 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 burn in me. Kindle the flame that is in me. The desert is dying. It's very difficult. It's been a 20-year drought. The house is burning, and yet we turn around and get so self-engrossed in what we're wearing, so to speak. It's very challenging. Very challenging. And so I have focused, wait. Yes. Fire, fire, burn in me. Light the path ahead. Burn away what is not love. Burn away what is the past. And I recall, and I go back to Vijaya, victory. I wish I had, where is that wonderful quote that I just looked up here? Rejoicing is a pledge of joy. We know how precious is each particle of joy. In it is a step of victory. Vijaya. Let the path be victorious. And I passed the fire. Marty Hogue.
Thank you. Sending in my loving energy from the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. And lighting my candle. And I will say simply that I'm joining today to lend my joyous and inquisitive energy to the tasks at hand today. And I will pass to Ben.
Here in the North Woods of New York City, Norwood, in what's called the Bronx, I light our candle with the Holy Mother on it, symbols of faith, hope, and love. That hope is symbolized by an anchor which holds us in the stormy seas. I've been thinking of the world intergroup, the One Planetary Server, and how do we become the world interbeing? How do we spread our radiance and leak into the world with this light that we have? I pass the moment to Helen.
Candle was hotter than I thought, igniting the fire of hope in the heart of every member of humanity. And I also have the word listening coming to me a lot, listening to each other, listening to our groups, and listening to hierarchy and any messages coming from Sirius in some form, to be open to them, to be aware of what is being asked of us. Thank you. And now, Lynn.
Just a note, Helen, I guess you're in London.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lynn. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. Our license plates used to say, Ohio, the heart of it all. And I sometimes feel that we are trying to ground a lot of heart energy here. And I felt the grounding, especially in the last few months. I felt a strong connection to Earth and the highest reaches connecting with the most solid in a line, a vertical line. And then at the center of that, of course, reaching out horizontally. That has seemed a strong image in my mind. Also, I felt a strong urge to breathe in a more efficient way, to breathe more strongly into my solar plexus and into my lower body, as well as reaching up. The breath, of course, which has to do with heart area too, I believe, and the rhythm of the breath have seemed really important to be conscious of. I'm happy to be here. I'm having to light the candle in my heart, as I'm not supposed to be around smoke. I've been told by the medical people. So I'm lighting the candle in my heart and sending love to all of you and thanking you for us all being able to be together and be a part of this. And I'll, let me see, Torben, has he been called on yet? Thank you.
Okay. I'll light my candle, and that's also in the heart, as well as you know, what has come around to me lately is somehow the Saturnian power of Leo. You might think of force majeure or things that are greater than me to push me in a new direction. And that I've been struggling somehow to try to accept and go with that flow and that push. And lately also been traveling and not just symbolically trying to reach some mountaintops, but also physically doing that and meeting, the fear of change and the fear of hanging there in the air. So I felt inspired to read these few lines for you. Down from the mountaintop I come, bringing the light of love, the love of God, into the chalice of all forms I meet. I pour this love which life confers, this love which life sustains. I see the love of life divine pour through the form, my own and others. It heals, it soothes. Thus, in the task is the task performed. Thus is a man of earth transformed into a son of God. Discipleship in the New Age, page 559. And I'll pass the light on to Marty.
Thank you.
Marty, you're muted now.
Okay, I've gone already, so I'll pass to Margaret.
Thank you. Margot, you just joined us. We're going now around the circle, linking through space by passing the light of our candles and love of our hearts to each other and saying our name and where we're connecting from and sharing the most resonant quality of Leo and Aquarius.
Thank you, Alexander. Well, my name is Margot Rush, and I pass this light to all of you. I am calling in from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, on Vancouver Island on the west coast of, off the west coast of British Columbia in Canada, on the traditional territories of the Lekwungen-speaking peoples. And the qualities of Leo. When I notice, well, I could call it anxiety or I could call it excitement, depending on the moment, arising and drop into the quiet and listen. The music of the spheres is, the word that comes is tinkling. It's, or maybe twinkling. There's an action in the silence that is effervescent and scintillating and yet fiery and so transformative. It seems to go right through down into the ground and then comes up again and expressing as flowers and bird song and the strength of the trees and the mountains. I guess in a nutshell, I'd say beauty. Thank you.
And whom would you like to call next?
Thank you. I'd like to call on Lynn if she hasn't spoken already. Hi, Lynn.
Hello, I have had a turn already. I'm not sure who hasn't. Katya, I know you, oh, okay. Katya, I know you spoke at the beginning too, but would you like to take another turn? Or Alexander?
Let's do Katya. Yeah.
I could take a turn.
Andrea.
Speaking of bees
Go
and
ahead,
flowers.
Andrea. Take a turn.
If my match works today, it's a miracle. I am Andrea Russ, and I am calling in from a little island off of New London, Connecticut called Fisher's Island. And I'm very glad to be with all of you. And I am going to just bring in the note of I am the joyful soul that is in unison with all of God's creations. And this works, or not, but not so. There it is. Okay, so now since I'm kind of the last, maybe Joe, are you jumping in here? Can I pass it to Joe?
Yes, I
Go.
can't be on screen. I apologize. I found when I'm on my phone, if I put on the video, then the internet fails me. Sorry. So know that I am lighting a candle, and definitely it is moving into the heart of the group. There's so many thoughts that come into mind whenever we're in group formation, and there's been a theme that's been just expanding since last year with the intergroup work that is so powerful. And there's a section in Dyna 1, page 703, that kind of expresses it in a kind of totality. And what I'd like for people to think as I read it is think of the sensitivities that DK tells us we develop in Leo, and we all develop them, even if it's not a primary focal point for us in our own astrology. And to me, the sensitivities relate to how we're building the Antakarana. He says the magnetic pull of the positive center at the very heart of the group. And that means the magnetic pull, in this case, of the master. But for us, I think it is the pull of the hierarchy itself, pulling us up. And he says, as we well know, theoretically at least, at the center of the ashram, at the center stands the Christ, the master. And for each of us, as we become initiates or disciples, and we rely on that pull to blend and fuse the energies as we do when we meet. And for me, it's just growing. I mean, the magnetism is just present in any group interaction. He says it's tendered and proffered by the group under the urge to serve and to indicate the field of service. And this whole past year, with the intergroup and this grounding, I think, in the garden, in each of the progressive cycles, has brought us to this point in Leo where we're truly, Katya in her introduction alluded to it, these levels. We think of ourselves at a certain level that we're not exposed to the magnetism of those great energies. But I have a growing sense that we are, that what is happening through the central spiritual sun that is transformative through Uranus is actually becoming part of us unconsciously. Many of us can't sense it, the Neptunian experience is definitely present in the groups. It's a fiery, the solar fire is so fiery that it's difficult to even express. And DK says when any group working in this way under the masters is moved by one spiritual impulse, as we have been to develop this telepathic rapport, and functions through one firm organization, and this is the image that I hold. He says it's like electrons around the positive nucleus in an atom. And I can so see that in my mind, and then it helps me to sense it in the groups as we are these electrons around that positive nucleus in the atom. And then the potency of the group, he says, will become immediately effective. So my experience that's been growing through this year is that more electrons are showing up in the field, and that dynamism of, now we know with quantum theory that it's far beyond that. There's literally these, the things are like rubber bands. They're not static. We're all moving, and we're bringing into this magnetic field much higher energies that we all have access to. And the trick is then to be able to hold that in daily life, which, I, like everybody else, I struggle with that every day, but to allow that magnetism to influence every moment, every interaction, every, I just filled my car up with gas, and it's the guy who filled my car up with gas, letting that magnetism radiate out into a way that improves every relationship, no matter how fleeting it is. So that's what comes to me. And the garden is it's the bees, all the hums, the bird songs, everything is like that magnetic sense that allows us, whatever sensitivity we're working on, from the lowest, which is the physical, up to the highest, which is the fifth, and that is the sensitivity to the present. So blessings, and thank you all for all that we are blessed with in these group interactions. And is there someone besides Katya? Has Annette Loeffler been called on yet?
No,
No,
not yet.
I'm sorry. I think I came a bit late. I thought it was later, but I have my candle. I light it, and the Leo Aquarius is for me soul consciousness and group consciousness. Thank you for being here. I don't know if there are any other who's not been there yet.
3 more people can see yet.
Where are you?
Say it again, hey, Christina.
Oh, I was asking Annette where she was.
Oh, yes, actually. Where are you connecting from?
Sorry, I'm from Denmark, in Europe.
Yes. Gillette. Jillian.
Oh, please unmute. Yes, Julian.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, I was a bit late too. I thought it started at 7:30 for some reason. I have already lit my tea light because I usually fluff it when I try and do it on camera. And my thoughts for Leo are sunshine and good spirit. And as someone did say, as we go around, we can be pleasant to everyone we meet, whether we know them or not, and that helps to spread a good feeling around. Thank you. Is there anyone else? Does anyone know? Seems I missed a bit of it.
Katya?
Yeah.
Katya?
Yes. And don't have a candle today, but the fire is strong, as Mary Christine alluded. It is really strong. And to me, this is the sensitivity. The Sirius is star of sensitivity. The sensitivity and the heart that represents it. And this will, in a sense of that gives us, this heart that gives us courage to be open, loving, and willing. And that is a lot of work in Leo. But it is really so filled with heart energy and with this living energy that it manifests in this universe. So, courage to be open, loving, and willing. Over to you, Sash. And I'm Katya Kaufman, and I'm from New York, USA. I'm sorry.
And also, Bridget, if you would like to introduce yourself and offer most important qualities of Leo Aquarius into the group.
Hi, everybody. I'm outside and it's very noisy, so I'll be brief. The sense I have is this beautiful stream that comes from Sirius all the way through the planes and subplanes, which we are, and shines. To me, the focus is shining that through the heart center with the will to good focus, and trying to keep those two things constant. Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget. And where are you connecting from?
I'm in Toronto. Thank you.
Thank you. So I will light my candle now, and as we lit our candles around the world and connected. My name is Alexander Ilchuk, and I'm connecting from Brooklyn in New York City in the United States. And as I was listening, I think, Joe, you mentioned that, yeah, it's so enriching to listen to each other. It's what I was planning to say changed twice or three times as the most resonant quality of Leo Aquarius. Recently, someone shared with me, or referred me rather, to pages in Dyna 1. It's Dyna 1, page 61. There is a meditation that DK gave to seed groups. It was his first iteration of teaching disciples and forming original seed groups. And so, and right following that, there is a section on intergroup telepathy, interestingly enough. So it's page 63 through 74, if I remember correctly. And it's very interesting considering the work that we've been doing this last year. And as I was reading and reflecting on that, what came to me is the recognition that we work within the thought form of the master. This book's been around for 100 years, and it's a thought form that gives us the space for all our work. And I realized as we were talking about Leo Aquarius that in an interesting way, it's related to what we do. We often, and myself included, we say like, oh, it would be so wonderful if our master would be in physical incarnation and would give us specific instructions and answer our specific questions. But no, our master is now out of physical incarnation, as far as we know. But we have the thought form of the teaching that he gave. And this thought form, it's a living substance that provides us capacity to discover the teachings as a group. When we work as a group, the teaching opens up for us. And we don't need to orient to the master and to guru and to one personality. But it's this thought form that allows us, in their Aquarian way, freedom to explore and discover the path as we go. So today our first part of our meditation, our alignment is much longer than normally, but I think it's special time, so it's good. It's not just naming ourselves, it's creating the group vessel, creating etheric space between us through which we will work. So with this, I invite us to turn off our videos that now we established visual contact and vibrational contact with each other. Let us turn inwardly, preparing for our meditation. And we will start with a short musical interlude leading us to meditation. Think of the presence. Evoke the stage of tension. This is basic and essential. The tension is brought about by complete control of the personal self, so it is fitted for contact with the real. Achieve a state of fusion with the soul, or with the angel, which guards the approach to the path of the higher evolution. Hold the mind steady in the light of the soul. The point of tension is to be held by the soul and not by an effort of the personality. This is the attitude of the lower self for the entire remaining period of work. Make an effort to sense the presence throughout the universe, not theoretically, but in vibrating response to its existence. See in the light which the angel radiates the point of light behind all phenomenal appearances, the germ or seed of divinity in all forms and in all presentations of truth. As the greater light of the soul becomes focused like a radiant sun, it reveals the stupendous vision of the presence. Attempt to ascertain the purpose, seeking expression through form at any particular point in the evolutionary cycle. identify the triple light of the intuition formed by blending the light of the personal self, focused in the mind, the light of the soul, focused in the angel, and the universal light which the presence emits. Now, carry some world problem or some design which the mind has evolved or the heart has desired for the helping of humanity, offering it into this triple light of the intuition. Preparation for the revelation. Relinquish the higher way. Return to the angel. Refocus in the soul. Pause for constructive thinking under the influence of the angel. Turn the mind to the formulation of those forms of thought which must embody the revelation. Pause. This is the pause preceding presentation. Presentation of the revelation. The revelation is presented and precipitated into the world of illusion, where it undergoes a fiery ordeal. Some of the fire within that which is revealed wings its way back to the source from whence it came. Some of it serves to destroy the revealer, and some to burn those who recognize the revelation. The revelation succumbs to the prevailing illusion, descends into the world of glamour, and subsequently disappears as a revelation, emerging as a doctrine. But in the meantime, humanity has been helped and led forward. The intuitives continue work, and the inflow of that which is to be revealed never ceases. As a group, we stand together with many more groups of similar intent, forming a radiant sun. Beaming out to the world the inflow of revelation. Radiance we are, and power. We stand forever with our hands stretched out, linking the heavens and the earth, the inner world of meaning and the subtle world of glamour. We reach into the light and bring it down to meet the need. We reach into the silent place and bring from thence the gift of understanding. Thus, with the light we work and turn the darkness into day. Let us bring our focus back into our group space, focusing on the group mental plane. Preparing to share our recognitions and impressions. And as we share, we maintain the point of group meditative tension, recognizing our sharing as a continuous meditation. And when you're ready, please unmute yourself, making your offering.
Gratitude to the intensity and intention that we were able to gather and bring in, that of all those we are working with telepathically. The main input that came into my consciousness is the need to recognize, respect, and fuse with all of the differentiated unities within this soul consciousness. I think Master DK gives us the higher image when he talks about the ashram as having all points of evolutionary development, all grades and degrees, and yet works together in perfect unison within the differentiated ranks. And that is the great sense that came through with this. The invoking of the triple light, including the presence, brings us to a much higher level of recognition of all the differentiated ranks within our group. And that though we each stand alone, we are united with each other, and we do have a rapport and a telepathic interplay, so that we can not only recognize and respect, but bring those factors into the revelation.
What came to mind for me was that of the 5 words mentioned in Race and Initiations Rule 14, which can be related to most of the impression processes and downflows of spiritual inspiration as I see it. And those words are, as some of you might know, express or apply, reveal, destroy, as we sense that here in the process described. Know that the process of revealing will transform yourself and burn the receivers of the revelation in your service to humanity. And then the final word, resurrect, in this eternal journey of new revelations on the spiraling up in the collective process of humanity. Thank you.
As we merge, we lose some definition, and until our sense of self is reborn, much enlarged.
Patience was offered up. Trust in the rhythm of life is what emerged into timeless, into infinity.
I keep being impressed with the words blinded by the light. And when I think of that, I think of what it's like when we look directly into the sun and we can only see light. And if we were to take our eyes and move those eyes to all aspects of form and see the light within in the same intensity, there would be no form. There would only be this extraordinary light. Just see that light.
I'm with Andrea, blinded by the light and love.
It's interesting to think about the ruler or rulers of Leo, that it's sun that veils 3 other planets. And we know TK says it's Vulcan, Neptune, and Uranus. And thinking about the nature of veiling planets for various signs, zodiacal signs, we recognize that it's veil, the true ruler's energy is veiled for a reason, and DK says that it's as a protection to protect us from that blinding light, from that overstimulation, if we would be directly exposed to incoming energy of those signs. So this meditation, this technique of presence, it's in a way allows us to tune with those blinding emanations of presence of life in all the forms, and yet to survive. And as Torben said, that those 5 words, and to resurrect. So in a way, it's one of the tasks or responsibilities, I don't know how to say, of aspirants and disciples to maintain that connection with the light of life, recognizing it, and through persistence and perseverance, going through this cycle of being burnt revealer, still to maintain that line of expression, to express that what is recognized, and then resurrect again.
The blinding with the light was like an evisceration, a completely eviscerated and born again and born anew and just full of love. In fact, it was very positive and strong. Thanks.
It seems to me that all work that we do individually and collectively is iterative. It's a spiral. We start where we are, listen, and we observe, and we learn and grow and contribute what we have to contribute grow where we need to grow, like water filling a shape.
I was particularly impressed by the sense of being part of the cosmos and this interlinking and the wonders of all, and that spark of divinity in everything. And what also occurred to me was with any revelation, what you can't do is claim it. As soon as you become attached to it, maybe, that is when the destruction comes in. It has to pass through and be part of this greater whole. It cannot be claimed. Can't attach yourself to it.
I had this image of our group, us gathered here, surrounded by our inner helpers, our own individual inner helpers, and our group's inner helpers, together forming a point of light that is one point of light among many, many, many others around the planet, to which we are connected, forming this beautiful network, becoming more and more dense in light every day.
This is the impression that that underlies this, the impression that from the words, intuitives continue their work. There's the link between Cancer, Leo, Scorpio, and Capricorn. The steps of building the sensitivity, intuition, group sensitivity, group intuition. And as a part of that, group telepathy. And underlying that is one life, which is the cause for all of this to be happening. Sensitivity to life, sensitivity as a direction. Is there more light or less light coming in through those situations and phenomenon, you know? Is there more life or less life around us with things unveiling in a certain way from our decisions, from our choices? And so if we gauge it through those parameters, more love or less love, we can sense. So the practical application of all of that is, I think that we have those multidimensional, but not as mathematics graphs, but the directions are light, love, time, space, livingness, oneness, and you name it. Thank you.
As we work and spread more light and love around, I think we will begin to attract attention, because I often think of the cosmic thing in our lives, and we will attract the attention of planets that are rooting for us to go on and do better for the solar system, such as Venus, as the one that always comes to mind. And so I think it's not just learning to get on with each other and put up with people's differences and carry on living harmoniously. We're also helping towards a greater ending than we possibly have thought we are.
I feel prompted to share with you this poem that came my way recently by Rosemary Watola Trummer. And its title is For When People Ask. For when people ask, I want a word that means okay and not okay. A word that means devastated and stunned by joy. I want the word that says I feel it all at once. The heart is not like a songbird singing only one note at a time, more like a Tuvan throat singer, able to sing both a drone and simultaneously 2 or 3 harmonics high above it. A sound, the Tuvans say, that gives the impression of wind swirling among rocks. The heart understands the swirl, how the churning of opposites weaves through us like an insistent breeze, leading us wordlessly deeper into ourselves, in love for one another, blessing us with paradox, so we might walk more openly into this world, so rife with devastation, this world so ripe with joy.
Thank you, friends. Let us continue holding the attention of open group channel, receiving and radiating. And same as we linked today in our circle coming from different parts of the world, from different groups. Let us hold the same tension of intergroup alignment for the next 5 days. And as we meditate within our own groups, recognize that we together, as a one planetary server, we stand in a receptive and radiating mode. Over to you, Claire.
Daniela, would you like to read the Gayatri?
Thank you. O Thou, who givest sustenance to the universe, from whom all things proceed, and to whom all things return, unveil to me, unveil to us, the face of the true spiritual sun, hidden by a disk of golden light, that we may know the truth and do our whole duty as we journey to thy sacred feet.
Thank you, friends. What a rich and full container. Yeah, very deep sharing today and deep meditation. There's nothing more really to add but to bless us each on our way, and we'll go out with the Gayatri, the musical form of the Gayatri, if I can find it and work out how to share that in all our cameras and videos at the same time. I'll do my best. Right, here we go.
Tatsavitu Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dimahi Dio Yona Prachodayat Tatsavitu Varenya Bargo Devasya Dimahidio Yona Prachodaya Om Bhuvaswa Tatsavitu Varenya Bargo Devasya Dimahidio Yona Prachodaya Om Bhuvaswa Tatsavitu Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dimahidio Yona Prachodaya Om Bhuvaswa Tatsavitu Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dimahidio Yona Prachodaya Om Bhuvaswa Tatsavitu Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dimahidio